In January 2026, Somalia stunned the region by cancelling all security and port management agreements with the United Arab Emirates. This bold move ended a decade of Emirati influence, signalling Somalia's determination to reclaim its sovereignty and reshape its alliances. The UAE, once a dominant force in Somali politics, was abruptly cast out, its investments and security presence rendered obsolete overnight. Years of Emirati interference, especially direct dealings with Puntland and Somaliland, had undermined Mogadishu's authority and fueled fragmentation. Now, Somalia is betting on new partnerships with Saudi Arabia and Turkey, hoping to strengthen federal authority and accelerate development. This pivot is more than a diplomatic shuffle. It's a high-stakes gamble that could either unify Somalia or plunge it into new uncertainty. Somalia's break with the UAE was the climax of years of tension over sovereignty. The UAE repeatedly bypassed Mogadishu, striking deals with semi-autonomous regions and treating Somalia as a collection of fiefdoms. The final straw came when the UAE was suspected of facilitating Ethiopia's sea access deal with Somaliland and supporting Israel's recognition of Somaliland's independence. These moves were seen as existential threats, fueling separatism and undermining Somalia's unity. Security incidents like the UAE's alleged facilitation of a Yemeni separatist's escape and funding of regional militias further eroded trust. President Mohammed declared Somalia would no longer be treated as a client state. The UAE's swift withdrawal from its Bosaso base marked the end of an era, but its commercial interests, like DP World's Berbera contract, remain flashpoints for future conflict. The stage is set for ongoing friction between Mogadishu and breakaway regions. As the UAE exits, Saudi Arabia and Turkey are stepping in to fill the void. Saudi Arabia, eager to outmaneuver the UAE, is forging a new military coalition with Somalia and Egypt, positioning itself as Somalia's chief security partner. This alliance brings financial aid and political backing, giving Mogadishu leverage it hasn't had in years. Turkey, meanwhile, deepens its long-standing support through military training, development projects, and humanitarian aid. The Turkish base in Mogadishu has helped professionalize Somalia's army, complementing the new Saudi-led security pact. Together, Saudi Arabia and Turkey form a powerful bloc, supporting a unified Somali state and countering Emirati influence. Their combined backing gives Somalia unprecedented international support and legitimacy. For Mogadishu, this is a rare moment of strength on the regional stage. Expelling the UAE is a major victory for Mogadishu's quest to centralize power. With Emirati support for regional rivals cut off, the federal government now controls access to lucrative Saudi and Turkish partnerships. Aid and investment will flow through Mogadishu, giving it new tools to reward compliant regions and pressure-defiant ones. The African Union peacekeepers remain crucial, stabilizing the country as UAE-backed forces are dismantled or integrated. This stability allows Mogadishu to renegotiate port deals and reclaim economic assets long controlled by regional authorities. Control over ports and trade routes strengthens the federal government's fiscal base and authority. For the first time in years, Mogadishu is poised to become the true center of Somali power. The UAE is the clear loser in this realignment. Its Somali project in ruins and its influence sharply diminished. The biggest casualties within Somalia are the semi-autonomous regions, Puntland, Somaliland, and Jubaland, now stripped of their main external patron. Their leaders protest, but without Emirati backing, they face mounting pressure from a newly empowered central government. Somaliland's recent diplomatic gains, including deals with Ethiopia and Israel, now look fragile as the Saudi-led bloc consolidates around Mogadishu. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation has condemned Israel's recognition, further isolating Somaliland. Djibouti, too, could lose its dominance as Somalia's ports are redeveloped with Saudi and Turkish support. A revitalized Somali port sector threatens to divert trade away from Djibouti, reshaping the region's economic landscape. The balance of power in the Horn of Africa is shifting rapidly. Somalia's pivot has major implications for Red Sea trade and security. The UAE's string of pearls strategy, controlling key ports, is unraveling, with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey and Somalia forming a new security bloc. Two rival camps are emerging: a weakened UAE-Israel axis and a rising Saudi-Turkish coalition. For Somalia, Saudi investment and Turkish aid could spark an economic boom, rebuilding infrastructure and improving lives. Centralized port revenues could finally fund national development, not just regional elites. But risks remain. Concentrating power in Mogadishu could fuel regional resentment and instability. Heavy reliance on new patrons may simply swap one dependency for another. The challenge is to use this moment to build lasting national institutions and real sovereignty. Somalia stands at a crossroads between the promise of renewal and the risk of renewed instability. Expelling the UAE and embracing Saudi and Turkish support has strengthened the central government and opened a path to unity and development. But regional leaders, especially in Puntland and Somaliland, may resist, risking new conflict. The UAE, though ousted, could still meddle through commercial and informal channels. Somalia is now a central player in a new regional contest, its choices shaping the Horn of Africa's future. The opportunity is real, but so are the dangers of dependency and division. The ultimate question: will Somalia's leaders, its new patrons, or its people determine the nation's destiny? The answer will define whether this is a true new chapter or just another false dawn.